Hello, good morning. It's good to be back again on another edition of QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are. And I am with Julde Njai. Good morning, Julde.
Good morning, Ibrahim. Good morning to our viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's good to be back.
Yeah, so how are you? How are you doing?
It's just on and off with Nawek.
Oh, yeah.
Aside from that, I'm okay.
These days, I mean, I was experiencing constant electricity until last night. I mean, I've also joined the queue of on and off.
Welcome.
But at least for my area, it's better because when it's off 5 minutes, it will come back.
You guys are lucky. You guys are lucky. We've been up for
I don't know if Prof is experiencing the same thing. Prof.
Well,
good morning.
Good morning,
good morning. Good morning, Balde and Julde. Thank you for having me. Prof, we have, Bruce B, so we are really suffering.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Even you, Prof. I am surprised.
I was having batteries.
Okay, inverters.
Yes, there is inverters, but it seems that my inverters are down.
Yes, so when you use them constantly.
Yes, so now it can take us only 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's
too
bad.
So we are really experiencing.
Let's see what will happen. I hope this thing will be solved very soon.
They said mid-June, so hopefully we are hopeful.
So that we can. Yeah, so on the program, we'll take a look at the African Code, then the newspaper review from the newspaper. Okay, before the newspaper review, we'll be talking to Professor Per Gomez, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, on reforming higher education. Stakeholders review Tertiary Education Act.
Among other things.
Yeah, so we'll be looking at that.
Right.
Then from that segment, we'll also be talking to Jasong Sanyang, Executive Secretary, Foundation for Climate and Environmental Justice. And of course, the team, the young lady would be here, so they've made a change, Julde.
Okay.
So protecting vulnerable communities from environmental harm. Yeah, so let's engage, Prof, on the African Code. Some people cry hot tears over things they do not own. Prof, that's our African Code for today. And we would like to hear your interpretation, your own side of this proverb.
Well, it might be above me, but then how to interpret it, might not get the answer, get it right.
Exactly.
But sharing tears on things you have not owned, well, it depends. It depends from different perspectives. One, you might be killing yourself on things that are not necessary. There are things that are not worth fighting for. But also, from the other hand, you can also do it for the common good. Yeah. Things that you have not owned, but you fight for that. That's a new definition of greatness, borrowing from Dr. Martin Luther King. That is being able to overcome some of the challenges, but also trying to be useful to thy neighbor. And I say thy neighbor is anybody created by God. But things that you have not owned, are the things that you will not end up benefiting from. Things that will not come to you individually, your family, your friends, your relatives. And the greatest things to happen to somebody is for you to do something good for others who you do not know, to come and benefit from the fruits of your labor. Things you have not owned. Okay? Well, let me stop here since I'm not a specialist, but I'm looking at
that was a great interpretation, really. You know, I would take it from the perspective of nationhood, just like what he alluded to. Okay, you don't own the state resources or, you know, public property and all of that, but all of us individually have a responsibility towards the protection and preservation of, you know, things that are owned by all of us collectively. So it's not your personal property, but it is your responsibility as a citizen to protect it and safeguard it and ensure that, you know, it is preserved for generations to come. So that was a good interpretation. Yeah. But yeah, Balde, we move straight to the conversation.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the topic.
Yeah.
Reforming higher education, stakeholders review Tertiary Education Act. It's important, Prof. Why the need for this review at this time, Prof?
Yeah, thank you very much. That is tomorrow, God willing, at the conference center. We'll be having all the stakeholders, the governing councils, the vice chancellors, the registrars, the staff associations, the student unions, the deans, and other stakeholders all converge from both public and private universities, and also the TVET centers, and together with the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, all to converge in one place and review the Tertiary and Higher Education Act 2016. As you know, prior to 2016, there was only one act on higher education, and it was University of the Gambia Act 1999, because there was only one university.
Yeah.
So the instruments did not even think of having a different university, not a second or third or fourth public university, but it did not also think about even a private university. So there was only one document talking about university. It's University of the Gambia Act, period. So then in 2016, they came up now with an act that will now abolish, nullify the 1999. Now to come up with the Tertiary and Higher Education Act that will embrace everybody, and that will anticipate on the new universities that will come, both public and private. And then also the TVET centers all put together, because prior to that, even 1999, there was the NTA Act, you know, that was what led to NACA. So, and then NACA came afterwards. So, but we've now realized that there are some gaps in that document in terms of governance, some issues that are not in order, some confusions here and there based on the models. For instance, when we started the 1999 Act that we had, you know, it was we borrowed from the Commonwealth system. You know, the technical assistance that came through the Commonwealth were from Nigeria. Hence the first Vice Chancellor, Professor Donald Ekong, in those days. So those who came, they came with that British system. Okay? So when you look at those documents, the first documents and so on, it's all linked to the British system. But the 2016 Act wanted to break away from that by trying to infuse the American system. When I say, for instance, we are having lecturer model, you have lecturer, for instance, the nomenclature, you have the lecturer, senior lecturer, associate professor, and professor. But the American model came up also, had this assistant professor and so on and so forth, which we do not have in the British system that we had in the previous document. So this document, for instance, sometimes it talks about a senior lecturer, sometimes it's talked about an assistant professor. You get the point?
It's confusing.
Okay. Yes. So, and there's need to really put things in proper perspective, and each category has its own requirement, and there shouldn't be any confusion. Then also in the process there are some criteria that were introduced there for certain governance systems and so on, which right now, you know, there are some gaps. What happened was that, you know, in those days there were some attempts to change the act, and there were attempts to now include some of our tertiary institutions, to have them you know, included into UTG, like MDI, to be included under the School of Business and Public Administration of UTG. And then also Gambia College to be included under the University of the Gambia. You know, so that was part of the plan and the development. But later on, it did not work out. Okay, so then they had to now remove that part, and then it was withdrawn, and so on and so forth, among other issues. Then there are, for instance, also in the 1999, the Staff Association, they were represented at the Governing Council, you know, like the students. But in the 2016, the students are still at the Governing Council, but they are lecturers. Those who are teaching them are removed.
Oh.
So it creates a problem, and even at governance level. And that's the reason sometimes you hear the staff associations making noise here and there. Because they said, how come that at the top echelon of the university, where you have the high, which is the highest decision body of the university, we, the lecturers, we are not represented, but our students are. It means it's our students who are governing us.
Oh,
you get the point?
Yeah.
So we will want to go back to part of what was done in the previous one. The good things that we had in 1999, we will bring them in this one, but also try to project our ecosystem to what prevails right now within academia, within the sub-region, but within the Commonwealth. So that's the system that we want to have. So that's why we want to bring everybody, because it must be participatory. We don't want any key constituents of the university to be absent. So the councils, the university management, the student leadership, the staff association leaderships, they all have to be present. Then we look at it page by page, line by line, and we all agree on what we think is the best practice, and now later take it to Minister of Justice for legal advice, and then later to Cabinet, and from Cabinet now to the National Assembly.
It's really a good document, because like he mentioned before, there was huge disconnect between, you know, members in the tertiary and higher education system. You literally see people doing the same thing, and at the end of the day it becomes monotonous. But now we've seen that, you know, through your leadership, you've tried to synchronize, you know, the tertiary and high, even those that are in the madrasas. We've seen that now there is the intervention of, you know, the ministry to ensure that they are included in the Gambia's education system. So now going forward, looking at all the, you know, legislative framework and tools that the ministry is trying to come up with to ensure that there is that synergy, what is the state of the Gambia's tertiary and higher education as we speak?
Well, it's taking shape. It's really taking shape, and we thank God for that. Talking about the synergy you've seen now with the transformation of then Gambia College into University of Education, and some weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, they gave a press conference that come this academic year, and they were going to now offer their new degrees, and listed a long list of new degrees that the University of Education, the Gambia, will be offering for the first time. It's a game changer, which means now we will have one education basket as a country. We don't have enough. We have the little we have, we put it together. And there are new changes also, because it's not just about the changing of name and coming up with programs, but there are new programs, and for us it's very dear to us. For instance, just want to give you 2 new programs that will be unfolding this year, and some of them will they will recruit in January, for instance, is the degree program in ECD and degree program primary.
Okay. Oh,
important. Wow.
So that alone, Balde and Julde, in our new Gambia, we are saying that somebody will now have to be trained at degree level to come out as a graduate and go and teach at nursery school.
No, that's going to be
so
very good
in this
foundation.
country called the Gambia, you will be having now teachers who are university graduates at nursery school. And no longer what it used to be or how it was perceived by society as a nursery school being a sort of a dead-end street, a place where you are when you have nowhere else to go. And people, because you are not needed anywhere else, you say, demanga jangale, as if the role of the teacher in the nursery school is just to allow the students to be dancing and or sleeping or whatever. That's all. And
that should be handled with care, because that's the foundation.
Exactly. That's where we're having issues when what we call foundational learning, where you know numeracy and other issues. So now having trained people as graduates to now come and teach our kids at nursery school level. But we are not stopping there. We're now introducing also degree programs primary. What are we saying? Later also having teachers at primary school who are university graduates. Remember, the university graduates, as per until now, these are the ones who are teaching at the secondary schools. Okay, those who teach the, obviously you have some in our universities and tertiary, but for in our high schools and so on, these are the ones there. I said you are a graduate, and it's going to also solve a structural problem that we've been having, because you see, if we train Balde as a very good nursery school teacher, okay, at a particular time, Balde would want to progress professionally. Absolutely. And to also earn something. Okay, so to do that, he would want to later maybe go and do a advanced diploma primary or advanced diploma secondary. So if he is able to do that and he graduates, he is likely to go back to go and teach at primary school or secondary school, but not at nursery. But de facto, you would have lost a very good ECD specialist. You get it? So what are you going to do now? You have to start fresh again. Since you lost Balde, you need to train Julde. You train Julde again. At a particular time, Julde will not want to spend her entire years just at nursery school. She will want to do like Balde. She will do the same thing, and then you lose Balde, you lose Julde, and so on and so forth. Eternal commencement, and so on and so forth. So with this revolution, what is happening is within the system, the system is going to recognize all of them because they are all university graduates receiving the same salary.
Regardless of the level you are teaching.
Exactly, regardless of where you are. And that will now give you, because you have decided to go into this. I've seen somebody who is an ECD teacher. If you see the passion, and when I look at that person, I say, they call me professor, but if I go to this class, I'm going to fail. And this guy is going to perform very well, far better than me. So if you have now a system that, what I call sometimes a system of containment, or having this person to stay within this category, but giving him or her that possibility to rise, and then be happy in his own domain. And because what are we saying? We're going to also have later people, after their first degree, some will want to do their masters. Now doing research now, and up to PhD within ECD to improve the system. that reside to come back and inform policy. And then you get the people within the system, within their area of specialization. And then they also grow professionally. This is one of what is happening, and you've also seen CSU, they've come up with their new program, Civil Service University, with new degree programs, more professional programs and so on. And next year they're going to run new professional programs because their area is more professional than the other institutions that are like UTG that is more academic, okay? They have some specialist areas, but they are more academic. They also have the liberty to go to do some general programs and so on and so forth. But then you said also you've seen the new program that we have there in engineering. By the way, this month on the 20th, God willing, all routes will lead to Brikama, to the USET campus for the convocation of their second cohort in homegrown engineers in mechanical engineering, civil engineering, and electrical electronic engineering. But this is also an education ecosystem that has produced for the first time in the history of this country the tripartite funds, the student revolving loan scheme, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and also the National Research and Innovation Fund, helping to support all these areas. Okay. So many issues, development taking place within the ministry, and this is helping really in that transformation that is taking.
Prof, let's talk about the government involvement to make sure this thing happen and it works. What is going to be the government's own take to make sure this is implemented?
Well, the government is taking the lead here. So first from His Excellency President Adama Barrow is the one giving us the directives, and I can tell you that even during the last UTG convocation, he gave us another assignment. So we are working on that, and once everything is clear, you will hear from us very soon. Another assignment for UTG that is showing about the development, and because he asked us to continue the transformation agenda, the infrastructural development that we are doing at Faraba, and so you will see very soon once things are put in place.
So I hope when this reform happens, access to higher education will not be very difficult to access.
No, not when it happens. It is happening.
It is happening.
It is happening.
It is unfolding now, because I've talked about the transformations of the universities, of the tertiary institutions into universities, and they are now offering new degree programs as standalone. We've talked about the advent of these tripartite funds now, and very soon they're going to give out the support to different institutions and individuals and so on. Also the infrastructural development that is taking place, the Faraba, I said.
How far with that? The lot 2?
Lot 2 is completed.
Oh, lot 3, okay.
Lot 3,
yeah.
Lot 3 very soon. By the way, Thursday the document will be at cabinet, and then it will go to National Assembly. That's what we are waiting for. And then now you will see activities taking place. That is for the mighty School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, with 16 state-of-the-art medical laboratories, and also story buildings for each of the 5 or 6 programs: medicine, nursing, pharmacy, biomedical sciences, public health, and you name it, and a clinic and all that. So all it will be available for them. But we've now, as a government, we've now gone beyond Lot 3. We are at another level. And we, at the appropriate time, when we get the signal from OP, the world will hear us. But I can tell you the President has already given directives for the transformation not to stop. and the infrastructural development to continue. So, but you will hear very soon, very soon. Maybe it's a matter of weeks or a month, then you know, things will be clear. But beyond that also, you've seen how to call it, the USEP. And God willing, next year also, there will be some transformation also, second phase of USET phase 2. Okay, so where we will be coming up with new degree programs and some structures on in energy, new degree programs on energy, new degree programs on computer engineering and its ramification. That is degree programs on in AI and cyber security for the first time in the history of the Gambia.
I'm glad
so
you
we'll
mentioned
be
that.
running those programs here in the Gambia. So we are doing our homework, working on a project. Just yesterday we had a meeting, and by the 26th, that's our deadline. We should be able to complete that, and before the end of this year, by November, you know, we need to get the signal and get ready for January, February, roll out the new norm and for these programs to take place. But we will also come up with some degree programs on BTech that we do not have here in the Gambia, you know, for the technicians, you know, so because it's about hands-on.
Yeah.
So we will work on that. Also training the teachers of TVET. Because you know what is happening also is in this country, you get a certificate or a diploma in a particular trade, okay, and then now you come and be a lecturer of you know, in for the same class. You don't have anything higher than that class because there's nowhere we are training people at that level and so on and so. So we're going to change that also. More hands-on education. By the way, we are done with the construction of a new campus, TVET campus in CRR North in Manidan Lamin Kante in Wasu. And then by November, December, we would have completed also the new campus, that TVET Center on agribusiness in CRR South, okay, in Pachar also. And all these centers, we have accommodation for both students and staff, but also we'll have, you know, in addition to the academic block, also you have workshops and labs for them. So a lot of changes, and we will see very soon the advert for now the consultancy and the contract, getting the contract for now the new TVET Center for fisheries in Tujarang. It will happen this year. The design is ready. We just got it some 3 days ago. So the consultant from Germany, they are done with that. So this is going to be the first time. A lot of things are happening in this country on that. Among other issues, we've started also the construction of the new buildings for the University of Education, the Gambia in Brikama, the formerly Gambia College also. Yeah. We are building right opposite USET. We are also building some structures for them. Also, and God willing, before December, it will be ready. Because work has started and work to finish, and very soon. And God willing, very soon, this in the coming months, we're going to lay the foundation stone for the dormitories at Faraba.
Faraba, oh,
yes. So,
okay.
And we're just doing some final touches on something, some paperwork here and there, and that's going to happen, and very good structures, and that's going to help. And within 1 year, it will be ready, and for students also to use. 1 year, 6 months, people will be staying. Then now the trauma on transportation here will be minimized, and so on and so, because majority, a good number will be staying on campus, among others. So the Gambia government, under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, is doing a lot, and a lot is unfolding. And in addition to the SIA fund, by the way, very soon we will be also giving out support through the Skills, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Fund to different TVET centers, both public and private, giving them funds to support the TVET centers themselves to do some infrastructural development or to buy some teaching and learning materials. Then the other one also to give scholarship and stipend to the TVET centers. And you know, most likely next month we will also launch the third one, the startup, what we call the startup for the youths who want to come up with their own projects, their own businesses and so on. They submit proposals and we're going to support them. We have a lineup for next 5 years close to $400 million for the youths of this country for the first time in the history of this land.
Interesting.
No wonder why
a lot of things.
He received the award for the Quiet Achievers Award.
Congrats.
Because there is a lot going on in the Gambia's tertiary and higher education. Congratulations, Prof, for that award. How do you feel back in that award?
Well, we thank God. We feel that well, this is God's will, not our will. You know, we are not better than anybody. There are other Gambians more qualified who would have done far better than what we are doing. But it happens that God decided that we are the one who are around for a particular period. Okay, and based on His will, we accept to be used as tool for the manifestation of His glory. So it is not us, this is God's will and God's work. And also thank His Excellency the President, because he is the one who gave us that delegated authority to do that work. And but also the higher education family, they are the one doing the job. And they propel Prof. Gomez to be there as well, you know, but those, the real laborers, the real workers are not seen. And this recognition is to all of them. But also how we decode the recognition is, it is as if Gambians are telling us that we've seen what you are doing, we want you to do more. For us, that's how we look at it. Not to say, bravo, you can celebrate and so on. It's not a moment to celebrate, but it's a moment to give more to the Republic, more to the Gambian people.
We expect more.
Yeah, so this is the issue. And then also telling you that don't betray the cause. It's a phonemic approach. You must fulfill the mission and leave the stage with grace. Fulfill the mission. It's a sacred duty. Serving your country is serving God. The Wolof will say, "Liggéeyal sa réew ci jaamu Yàlla la bokka." What a better way to serve your country. Serve people who, some you don't know, who will later benefit from the fruits of your labor and based on your achievement. And then also, when you come forward to be selected or identified to serve on behalf of millions of Gambians, you know, what would be the legacy that you want to leave behind? And some of us, what are we going to tell our kids? That answer must be provided now. We cannot wait until we exit the stage to start thinking. We should start working for that answer now. And that's what motivates us, what pushes us to continue working. But it's all another way of worshiping God, through this mission. And we want to give thanks to the Most High and thanking the Gambian people once again for this service, and we feel honored.
Thank you very much, Prof, for talking to us on QTV this morning, and we wish you all the best of luck so that you can execute your duties.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you.
For the tertiary and higher education in this country.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So viewers, this is all we have for this segment. We'll take a short break, and after the break, we'll be back. This is QTV This Morning. We are back again after that break. After talking to the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Minister Pierre Gomez, they're trying to review and restructure the education system of the Gambia. We all understand how proactive the minister is when it comes to putting different structures you know, to make sure our education structure is put in place. So quite very interesting activity there, and things are unfolding, and I am pretty sure once they are ready, because that political will is already there, so once they are done, the Gambia education will be on another level. Mr. Mamadou Mbodj, it's good to have you here on the newspaper review.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. But you know, will is one thing, outcomes quite another. Absolutely. You gotta have the will, you gotta have the resources, you gotta have the right policies, and you gotta have the right execution. So you have many phases.
But I think for policies, the political will is already there, and you know, the government, according to Pierre Gomez, they are ready. They are willing, I mean, to put the right structures and, you know.
Mr. Balde, will is definitely part of the equation, but you have other parts as well. So you need so much to come together for one to get the right outcomes. So let us be careful how we judge. Absolutely, one can see this flurry of activity in ministry, be it higher education and basic education. We're seeing all sorts of things. So what outcomes would it yield? It will take time before one knows. You know, it's not good to sort of start feeling self-satisfied because there are many activities going on. Not yet. This is a delicate matter. Education is so important, absolutely. It's the foundation, it's the base. So let's just
well, let us see what will happen. But
absolutely.
I mean, the unfolding,
fantastic.
I mean,
the rhetoric,
the things that we are saying, is quite impressive.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. The activity and the rhetoric, absolutely. Yes, that's really what you want, you know. And he's passionate about education. Obviously, when you listen to him, you get that sense, you get that vibe. But it's a long road.
So let's move on. On the Foreign newspaper, the top left headline reads: the government spent $150 million, I mean, to reduce diesel price by $5.
Yes, subsidize and stuff. Yep, this is what governments do. You know, at times like this, what's going on around the world. So this is it. But is it sustainable? Where are you getting the money to subsidize this? Are you cutting, as it were, other sectors' subventions, what you give them? So you must get it from somewhere. Are you borrowing it? Where are you getting the money? That is really very important for us to know. There's no such thing as a free lunch. That's it. How far, how much more can they do? What is the ability? You know what I mean? You know, when you receive your salary, there's just so much to do. But you prioritize, isn't it? If I spend here, I wouldn't be able to spend there. The state is more or less like that.
Your needs or wants
always will outweigh your means, what you have. So this is a tough one. How far people realize we're in trouble and you need help, but again, what will be the cost of that help? I don't know.
Okay. So, I mean, Ousseynou Bojang and the sister, they've returned to court yesterday after the appeal by the government of the Gambia. So, the court was adjourned for another date, I think Monday. Is this not even surprising at some point? These doors were released, you know, arrested again, sent to mile 2, then released again, Now the government appeal against them, and now they are going to court again.
It is their right to appeal. We have an appeal system. That's it. The court of first instance, if you're not happy with the judgment, with the ruling, it is your right to appeal. Fine, let's keep on appealing. But yes, the court released them, found them not guilty, and then they arrested them again. That looked really ugly. You know, that was like power pushing its weight about, really. So that was a minus, really, for whoever decided.
The court have already exhausted all proofs.
No, it's not exhausted. High Court, Court of Appeal, possibly Supreme Court. So you have to go through the appeal system before you consider the court has exhausted everything, you know. So we'll see what happens afterwards, but absolutely you're correct. After the court of first instance had found them not guilty, and then for them to be arrested again, oh, come on. That really looked ugly.
That really look ugly. Justice for All demands nationwide sit-down strike on Monday amid fuel and transport hike.
That's it.
You know,
I was just reading that.
sit-down strike.
I get it. What do you want? See, before I go on to this
The
things,
cost of fuel.
I got. But this is what we were talking about, the subsidies. How far can government go? It is not as simple as that. By how much? Do they have an objective? Do they have a target?
Yeah.
That government, we wanted to reduce this price to whatever. Do they have a target? How was that calculated? What would be enough? What would be appropriate? This is all a matter of judgment. So I would love Justice for All to think about it properly. You look at our situation, absolutely. What is doable? What's the cost? So we have to be mature about these things, you know. When I go out in a protest, I will demand something that is deliverable. If I start demanding things that are not, that's the recipe for confrontation.
You mean you have to bring
Think
demands that
about
are
it.
realistic?
Yeah, realistic, deliverable. What are the deliverable demands that they're going to make? It will be interesting to see, you know. There's no point sort of crying for the moon, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, no point for crying. I mean, for the moon.
For the moon.
So let's take a look at NAWEC. I mean, the electricity crisis.
Absolutely.
You know, each and every person is talking about it, and it came at a very bad time. The heat, Mr. Mamadou Mbodj. At some point, we have people that cannot live without electricity. You know, I was talking to an old lady the other day. She said, "I have this asthma, and if it's too hot, I cannot even sleep. Sometimes it can attack me." So imagine going for days and weeks without power.
Absolutely. We slept last night. I live in Bruceby Phase 1. No electricity at all. Until when I left this morning, none whatsoever. Well, for some of us, we just don't understand this kind of drastic, as it were, collapse. Because we went for some period, didn't we, that the supply was fairly regular, wasn't it? Was it perhaps even a month? It was all cool. And suddenly, it appears that way. Suddenly, this dramatic collapse and everything gone. There's a problem here, there's a problem there, and all of that. Reading Gala, you know, Gala, the Gambians Against Looted Assets, I read their statement, sort of blaming perhaps managerial incompetence over the years. We have to be serious about these things. Let's look into it. What's going on? What is systemic? And, you know, what is about personnel? Is it managerial or is it systemic? I do not know.
So it's going to take at least 15 days.
Well, they said until 15th of June.
To resolve.
To sort it out. But because one version of what's going on is that we don't have fuel because of the issue at Strait of Hormuz. If that is the issue, then how can you tell me that 15th of June you will solve it? Because there's uncertainty over there. Nobody can tell you. So is that really what the problem is? So I do not know how it was calculated to say that 15th of June, around 15th of June should be okay. If the problem is the sort of hummus, everybody's using it, and there's uncertainty there.
Maybe it's just a time frame. Maybe it can even be resolved.
No. No. Maybe, you see, but this is the key. You see, you've said maybe, but with them they were categorical. They gave us a date. But how do you know? Because if the source of it, the future of that source is uncertain. Nobody knows when the Iran thing will go on. I mean, Trump and Iran, I mean, who knows how long this will go on for? So, I do not know. I think one should be honest. We've heard about all sorts of things, transformers or backup generators. There are so many stories, multiple stories going on. What's the reality? Be honest with people. I think that with people, when they understand what's going on, then you can have more sympathy. It is when you feel that you're being lied to. That's really when you get pissed off, isn't it? But when we are honest, we know our situation.
Frank to each other.
Just be frank. Why is it so difficult? People think that they can spin things. Now you have what they call spin doctors. They pay them so much to manipulate information. This is a weird world, isn't it?
Side by side, from electric crisis to water crisis, hits Bundung during Tobaski. I was supposed to go to the Takwa Mosque with a friend, and he said to me, boy, I can go for the Eid prayer. I mean, there is no water to take shower.
Yes.
So I'm afraid this year you will go alone. Yes, that's what happened, and I prayed alone, man.
Absolutely.
So this is what happened when you did not put the right structures in the right place. We were here yesterday, and you said you lived in England for
God knows how long.
For many
I've
years.
I've never had a single power cut. I've never experienced it. I'm sure that they've had. I'm sure that they've had. But this is the rarity.
You know,
it's just so rare.
You see, when I was in Istanbul, there was power cut. But you know what happened? Before the power cut, 2 hours before the power cut, they sent a message to my friend's phone, telling him we are doing a maintenance and you will experience power cut from this time to this time.
That's it.
That was so professional.
Absolutely. The predictability. People rely on that predictability. Remember, just before the Tobaski, tailors were complaining because they didn't know when there'll be light or not. And they had so much to do, you know, everybody, you know, you wanted to sew new clothes.
Yes.
So we were talking about predictability helps. If it's going to be within the 24 hours, you're going to give me only 1 hour, I'm cool. But just tell me when, that I can do something. But on off.
You know, the problem is when you put me, you know, in suspense for some time, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I am curious to know whether it will come or not. You understand? So that is the problem. I think it's important for us to start resorting to standbys.
In a society, there are certain services, they should be predictable. You want to live a civilized, you know what I mean, life, reasonably decent standard of living. You know what I mean? These basic electricity, water, oh, come on. We have no excuse. They are so basic to the person. Why can't you focus and just give the person that? Give me electricity, give me water, educate me, and we've got health and health, that's it. Then you see the citizens, what they're going to do, what they can achieve. That's where you can really test your people to achieve high. You've taken care of the basic stuff. We are struggling with basics.
When you take care of the basics, the other things will take care of themselves.
These are gateway. I call them gateway reforms, gateway stuff. That's it. They can enable. They enable all the stuff.
They prompt other things to happen.
Then just leave your citizens and see what they can produce.
No, take care of healthcare.
What they can do. education.
Education, and you take care of
The basic
needs,
the infrastructural stuff,
electricity.
water, electricity.
If you do those things, the rest will be okay. We understand we cannot get everything 100%. You know, no government can do that. Even the US, people complain. They are not getting all they want.
That will never happen. For us, on our continent, post-independence, all that, what they call the nationalisms we had, you know, nationalism all over the place, they all collapsed into kleptocracy. We just started stealing from the state, just like the colonialist. We continued the colonialist mindset. We were just stealing from the state. If we had not done that, I suspect things might have been a bit different.
Yeah.
Yes, things might have been a bit different, but something is going on here. I don't know how to explain it.
Wow, that's really interesting. There,
we
Mr.
can
Momodu.
only witness it, but I don't know. I don't have a name for it.
It's a terrible thing. A lot of things have to be put into structures, Mr. Momodu Mbodj. I mean, we cannot talk about all these things.
No way.
Yeah, so viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, then we will be heading to the last segment of this program, Protecting Vulnerable Communities from Environmental Harm. We'll be back. Welcome back. This is QTV This Morning. I'm Ibrahim Abalde. We are back again. And now let's talk about climate. We are here to engage Foundation for Climate and Environmental Justice, an organization responsible, and what it carries is making sure communities are aware of certain things as far as climate is concerned, climate change. So we have the team in the studios already. I'll allow them to introduce themselves. Please tell us your name and your role in the organization.
Thank you so much, Mr. Balde, and for having us here today. I am our HR, and I am the Executive Director of the Foundation for Climate and Environmental Justice. And this is our first TV invitation, and we really honored the invitation. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Balde. We are grateful to be here this morning. My name is Alhaji Mbalo. I am the Finance Officer of the Climate and Environmental Change.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now let's delve in. Please take us through. What do you do as an organization?
Well, thank you so much. Foundation for Climate and Environmental Justice as an organization, we basically focus on raising awareness, that is through advocacy, and also listen to the voices of the local communities, because they believe, we believe that when it comes to climate and environmental issues, they are not usually included in decision-making process. So we go far to reach them, know their concern, and also put forward their voices, amplify it in policy discussions. So basically, our main goal is to ensure that climate and environmental justice issues in the Gambia are promoted, in the sense that when you look at the Gambia, we have so many organizations that embarked on climate and environmental protection. But the rare thing that we hardly see is the inclusion of legal intervention. So we believe that we should have inclusive policies that can be, not only have it as policies, but policies that are implemented and hold people accountable for it. Yes, so we do a lot of things, and this is one aspect of Foundation for Climate and Environmental Justice that is unique, and a gap that we want to fill in. And we want to have that inclusive and environmental governance to ensure that the local people are not also left behind.
Okay. So Alaji, what do you think, are the biggest problems as far as the local communities are concerned? What affects them more when it comes to climate change?
Yeah, thank you very much. That is the very reason why, in fact, we came in, because people in Gambia, our problem is awareness. Many times, our problem is people don't protect our environment. And I believe there are regulations that are placed in to deter people from, littering, deforesting our environment. And these are problems that government itself is, in fact, having issue with. Most of the time, you see, in fact, the rainy season is coming. You see people littering in our gutters, and things are not taken care of until rainy season is coming. They start dogging and putting it on the highway to see that and the same the dust and the littering that are in the gutters are put it on the highway, and again when it rains it goes back. That is one thing. And the other thing is people feel like they can go around, cut trees anyhow without permission, and there are laws guiding all those things. And because you own the tree, you can cut and do whatever you feel like with the tree without consultation with the environment. These are main things that we are facing with, and we don't have authorities that are put in place to be watchdogs to protect our environment. People are not dealing with the issues in accordance with the law, especially when you look at the rules that our area council has enacted as a regulation, the Anti-Littering Act. You have Section 1 to Section 7. All is telling you shall not litter on the street. You go to other countries, for example, Ghana. If you dump anything, they know that you are a guest in that country. This is something that people need to be aware of, and these are one of the things that we are facing, and that's why we come in to at least sensitize people, to tell them the existing law, that is not everybody can do anything you feel like without consequences. Yeah.
So let's talk about the mode of communication and sensitization that you use for these communities, because we understand communities too, they have their own rules, they have their own regulations. So telling them, we want you to stop what you're doing, or we want you to follow this pattern, can be very challenging sometimes.
Yes, sometimes it's very challenging, especially recently we embarked on climate and environmental justice documentation and outreach program at Kirjarga. So sometimes the communities are already like, that is their lived realities, and the livelihood they depend on hugely has impact on the environment. Let's say, for instance, firewood. Most of the communities, they leverage on firewood to be able to feed themselves. So you cannot tell that particular community or group of people that you have to stop this because it's detrimental to the environment. And sometimes they even use this mud cement. Sometimes they dig it from the ground and use it to construct their houses. Yeah. So they need to live also, they need shelter. So there is a way that we need to balance things. So we have to also understand the livelihood realities of the communities in order to be able to solve their problems. So what we do is to be able to communicate to them some of the harmful impact of their actions and how it affects their livelihood. although they are using that to survive for their livelihood, but also not doing that will also assist them to also have a better livelihood or to live in an environment, a friendly environment.
So do we have another option for them?
Yes. Right now, basically the options, let's say for instance, the last time I went to Kerjadga, there was bush burning, you understand? So this was not during the recent activity, that was prior, I went there. So what I did was I introduced them to mulching, because instead of burning the bush, now you can use dead grasses and use them as mulching instead of burning them. So that will save the environment. Okay. Yeah, although our experience does, is mainly on the legal aspect, but with our engagement with all the organizations, we were able to know some of these terms, such as the Green of Gambia. So we were able to know some of the things that they can also leverage on to be able to protect their environment. So it's kind of a balance, trying to find a balance. So they need to live, and also the environment has to be protected. Yeah. So it's finding an alternative and a balance to be able to.
So we talked about climate justice. I don't know if Alaji would like to delve into that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? Climate justice itself.
Yeah, the climate justice is very crucial in our name, because it has to do with fairness, inclusion, and also the voices of because when it comes to climate change, the local people are the ones that are mainly affected. They are largely affected. They bear the brunt of environmental injustice. So there is need to have justice. That is to say, the communities that live in a very devastating environment, how do we also include them in our advocacy process so that it will be inclusive and participatory? So because we need them. Most of when it comes to the Greater Banjul areas, we feel we have some challenges relating to the environment, but it cannot be compared to those in the provinces, because those people, their entire livelihood depend on the environment. Because now if you cut down a tree or pollution is there, it will affect them. In fact, when we went to, sorry, I have to say this. When we went to Kerjadga, when we interviewed them, there was a lady that told us that usually the women, they embarked on poultry business. So, but at a certain stage, the climate will be so high that those poultry will be spoiled. They will get spoiled because they don't have enough air to be able to protect them. So you will see that climate, the environment, particularly climate change, will not only have impact on our environment or surrounding, but also it will have impact on employment, it will have impact on human rights protection. So it's like it cut across. So that's why the very step is to make sure that we protect the environment, and by doing so we are protecting people's life, right to live, right to work, right to work and living. So
yeah. So Alaji, let's talk about, do you partner with any organization? Do you have partners?
Yeah, that is very important. We are newly born. We are babies for now, as we can call it. We do some courtesy call to the Ministry of Environment. And introduce ourselves, which they have appreciated. We've also visited the Ministry of Justice, because you cannot do advocacy when it comes to legal issues regarding environment protection without the involvement of the Ministry of Justice. In fact, some other countries will send lawyers to go and study environmental laws and regulations and how we mitigate the differences between polluters and government, especially when it comes to carbon marketing and all that. So we are not yet on paper partner with any organization, but we are partnering with government, and then we've written to them. The National Environment Agency has appreciated us and then also welcome our existence and then ready to partner with us. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change also promised to work hand in hand with us, and the National Assembly has also encouraged us not to, in fact, stay long, not to visit them, because our visit with them and then request for partnership was very appreciated, because it was well noted that it's rare to see such organization, and especially youths of today, especially coming from the legal background, to come and show their interest to participate in environmental development and participatory. They really, but we welcoming every other organization and CSOs. We are in existence. Our doors are open for everybody who want to work with us, because you cannot do environment without policy. You know, and if the policy reach people, the better they have better understanding and at least respect the rule of law, and also to help government to complement their efforts to protect our environment, because they can't do it alone. No CSOs can do it alone. So we can all come together and work hand in hand to protect our environment for our future generation are to come.
Yes.
Yeah, just to add on that, the partnership thing that you asked. So basically, as he rightly stated, we don't formally have partnership agreement for now.
Yes.
But in action, we are basically working with certain institutions.
Okay.
For instance, I will give you the Gambia Environmental Alliance, which is an organization that over 50.
Is it Haidara?
Yes, Mohammed Haidara.
Mohammed Haidara.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. It's an organization that include more than 50 organizations that focus on environmental protection, and we've written to them to affiliate with their organization, and we are hoping for their response too. And we've also visited a courtesy visit to Green Up Gambia. So hopefully we will have the requisite support and partnership that we need to be able to pursue our goals and missions.
All right.
Yeah.
So finally, what do you have for the communities and everybody watching, the ministries, you know, and all those CSOs that would like to partner with your organization?
Yes, the first thing that I will have to tell them is to trust us and believe that they are dealing with young people that are passionate, young people that are not only passionate to address climate and environmental injustice, but young people that are ready to sacrifice both financially and physically to be able to address climate issues. And also, if you want to partner with an institution, you have to know what that institution have done. So, and for such, we've just incorporated not long ago, January 2026, and we've able to achieve a lot of positive. One of the things that we've achieved is the documentary that I've told you about. We went to Kerjadga in the North Bank region and documented their lived realities, their concerns, and this will also help us to be able to advocate for their, protection and also policies that will better protect their community. And also with Q-City, the Settle Initiative.
Yes.
Yes, Settle Sunyureu. We've joined Q-City at that was Costa Road.
Okay.
Yes, at a cleaning exercise.
Oh,
so
you were there?
Yes, we were there, and what we did, we did not only focus on the Settle, because we also have a priority. We joined them, conduct the Settle, and also mobilize some volunteers that were on the ground to have a side event we created awareness of environment. Wow. Yes, we talk to people about their responsibilities towards the environment, how they should make sure that the environment is not going to be an institution obligation. Yes, both communities have responsibilities towards the environment.
Thank you.
Yes. So let them trust us and know that we are willing to work with all of them to be able to address the climate issues in the like globally. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Alhaji, finally.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Balde. As she rightly said, we are ready to work as an organization, young people, and our focus and our aim is very high when it comes to environment. As he rightly said, in fact, when the National Environment Agency sent a bill to the National Assembly, and they have looked at it. In fact, they passed many stages before we were aware. But when we got to aware of that process, we did not wait. We spent nights working hard with the executive to make sure that we sent our position paper to see that the vulnerables are inclusive and the law is checked up and let it not be dictative and the vulnerables are all inclusive and the voices of people are heard. It was, in fact, with them, they were shocked because it's very rare for them to see young people coming and participating. They only make when laws are made, and they started complaining, these bad laws, this is hard.
I know, so thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Alhaji. Thank you for coming. And, you know, this will not be the last engagement that we'll be having on this program because what you're doing is very significant. I am pretty sure we will have another session again. Probably we can do that in the local language, engage our local viewers too. Yes. Yeah, so thank you very much for coming.
And in fact, we're going to have partnership with QCell because they have environmental something that they are working on, and we will be a better fit. So we will.
Okay, that would be nice. That would be nice. I think anything that has to do with environment, cleaning, and settled scenario, we will engage our CEO's wife, Aissatou Jah. I think she should be in the better position to handle every activity that you do. Yes. So viewers, this is all we have for you today. We'll be back here tomorrow for another edition of QTV This Morning. Until then, enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.